Remember when everybody had to know how to change a tire on their car? Hands up from those in the audience who couldn't even try for the learner's permit before their dad or somebody in the family took them out and made them prove you could use a jack and help yourself in a moment of need. Hand up. Got it, all right? Likely, those who have never been there are doing so because they just call someone on their cell phone and wait for help while streaming the latest Kardashian episode, safe and convinced that this is a one-time deal because auto technology is so rock solid that car breakdowns never happen, except in a parallel universe. Let's stay in this universe and begin there, shall we? Welcome back, the syndicated master of everything automotive. Read and follow her tips and comments at the website named after her. That would be laurenfix.com. And this would be the car coach, Lauren Fix, who changes a spare tire better than anybody on a car doing at least 140. Okay, there we go.
About 12 minutes to change a flat tire if you know what you're doing.
I've seen that happen. Here's a AAA report. They talk about the fact that they have rescued a record-breaking 32 million drivers in 2015. They're talking about this despite vehicle technology, maintenance reminders, dashboard alerts. Okay, so the simple question is, are we just lazy?
Well, I think the Car Care Council has always been trying to tell people to be car care aware. We find there's $62 billion of undone maintenance. That is a heck of a lot of money. That means that 9 out of 10 cars have something wrong with them on the road. And every year we have National Car Care Month, we have Fall Car Care Month. We try to tell people, hey, listen, there's 9 fluids in a car. This is far from the information you get at Driver's Ed, who teaches you there are 3 fluids, which is totally inaccurate. And don't worry about it. The cars, they don't need any maintenance. Come on. The fact is they do. And if you're on top of it, you can save up to $1,200 a year. And if you fail to do so, you're going to be stuck on the side of the road, and the car's going to be towed to whatever garage, and then they got you.
But isn't that the point, though?
Get expensive.
Isn't that the point, though?
Yes.
We have auto manufacturers that are telling us the cars are better than they ever were, the technology is better than it ever was, but wait a minute, these are still machines at the end of the day,
right.
And you've got to have a basic, simple knowledge about how to care for the machine. So, again, are we just making drivers 32 million that had to be rescued? I mean, let's face it, some of them probably... there were legitimate reasons they broke down, but most of them, they run out of gas because they don't watch a gas gauge. They let the tires go flat because they don't check the air pressure. They don't have enough water in the radiator, those who still have radiators, because they don't check them. We're still making dumber drivers every single day.
Right, and that, again, we've discussed this before. I'm a big fan of retesting, and part of that testing is the way they do it in Europe. And that is a graduated process. You do not get your license unless you know what to do in an emergency. If you've got a flat tire, if a headlight is out, if your wiper blades need to be replaced. Heck, I made my kids learn how to change the oil. If they didn't know every single thing in that emergency kit and how it worked, you weren't getting the keys. And the fact is, I've made more empowered drivers that way. And I run around the country teaching kids about this, whether it's through the Girl Scouts or the Boy Scouts or through youth groups. And you know what? I still have adults saying to me, how do you check tire pressure? It's the number inside the driver's door. There's a number there. Yes. Make sure to know. Get that book out of the glove box underneath all my, end quote, napkins and ketchup packs, and pull out that book, take off the plastic, and read the maintenance. For you, salsa.
Just the salsa
for me,
packs.
ketchup.
Okay. But, I mean, look, we're not telling people that you have to know how to crawl underneath the car, pop off the oil pan, take out the bolt, whatever, change the oil. We're not telling you to do that. But at least know that this material, these are fluids, these things need to be done, and just be aware of them, which most people have no idea what it is because they say...
Even in autonomous cars, they're going to need maintenance. Even hybrid cars need maintenance. Even electric vehicle cars will need brakes and tires and wiper blades and headlights, because all of that is part of a vehicle that will fail or potentially need to be replaced or maintained.
And by the way, somebody in our office today doesn't know how to change a tire and didn't know what a hydraulic jack was.
We'll have to come down there and do a little test.
Didn't even know to call it a scissors jack in the car, okay? And does not have a spare tire in the car. But there's the next thing, too. There's the next thing, too. A lot of auto manufacturers are taking the spare tires out of cars these days because they're making room for something else. That's ridiculous. How could you even possibly not want something in the car to save you?
It's because of CAFE standards. Their corporate average fuel economy is supposed to be 54.5 miles to the gallon. And now they're realizing this is not going to be possible. So what does that mean? That means we take the spare out to make the car lighter. We use lighter materials. We take things out. We take out anything we can. We use any technology we can to make the car lighter. And in that process, there's no spare tire. So 1/3 of the vehicles being sold today, no spare tire. I own a Mini Cooper. There's no spare. So what do you have? Run flat tires because they're lighter, they're low rolling resistance tires, and yes, they get flats, and yes, you're still responsible for replacing a tire that's got a hole in it.
And by the way,
I mean,
and by the way, I just got to point this out real quick. Let's tell people again. The emergency spare tire that you put on your car is not meant to be run for 197 miles at 65 miles an hour on I-5. They're meant for 25 miles an hour for about 20 miles, kids. Learn it.
Yeah, and get a tire repair place to fix it.
Thank you.
If you say, you know what, I can't change a flat tire, I have a disability of whatever type, that's fine.
I get that.
Get a tire inflation product. They do sell them with air compressors and sealants that adds the sealant, adds air, because if you just seal the tire, and I know tire guys hate the tire sealant, but the fact is if you use it with an air compressor, which you can reuse to add tire pressure if needed, that would be the smartest investment. It's about $30. Best $30 you'll ever spend.
As I heard a guy tell one of my girlfriends a long time ago, break a nail, honey, learn how to change the tire. Okay, there's the sexist moment for the day. I'll be hammered for that.
That's okay. I'm cool with that.
There you go. See, let's get to a couple of quick news things here. GM's tab for Takata, the airbags, might be almost $1 billion. The company says we don't have to make Takata-related repairs. Why not?
Well, that's interesting. Part of this has to do with the fact of the bankruptcy. Remember the GM bankruptcy? And I was totally against that. Well, they're using that as for protection, saying, hey, you know what? That was the old GM. This is the new GM. Well, this week, another 4.3 million vehicles were now recalled because of Takata not disclosing the proper information. Their testing showed that there was a problem, and they slid that under the table or didn't disclose it. And because of that, we have another 4.3 million vehicles on the road that could have airbags deployed and kill people. Now, we don't know how many actual deaths there are because the insurance companies are working on that right now. But the fact is, GM's trying to hide some of this damage. And the fact is, I really, truly believe if they want goodwill with customers who own GM cars or would ever consider buying a GM car, fix the airbags. Come on.
Be upfront
Let's be
about
serious.
it.
These are people's lives.
See, yeah, be upfront about it at least, and I think people are going to feel a whole lot better about it. And so would anybody else who wants to save the lives of their kids and their families. Tesla. Elon Musk has announced a master plan part 2, but there's a lot of people part duo, of course. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for saying that way, Lydia. Very nice.
That's what he calls it,
but
part duo.
Is it not fair to say that the investors and a lot of people in the stock markets, they're not impressed at all with this? I got a piece of paper in front of me that says avoid Tesla. Yes,
and that's what all the investors are saying now, and it's going to hurt him for 2 reasons. One, he's talking about a $3 billion plan with a company that's done nothing but have losses from day one. In addition, he's trying to put a merger together with Solar City, which is owned by his first cousin, because that guy's mother and his mother are twin sisters. How convenient. So they're going to take a company that's got wicked losses, match it with another company that has losses, plus they're already under investigation by the SEC for not disclosing the truth about the death that happened way before he raised $2 billion. And then in addition to that, of course, the autopilot problem that we're having. So he's going to have, by next week, this should be really good for next week, he's going to have to face a panel in front of the feds. That I will be watching.
By the way, very nice use of the word wicked for someone who lived in Boston for several years. Very nicely done. 30 seconds left here. We've talked about autonomous cars back and forth. Apple's rumored 2020 launch target for their car has slipped to 2021. Do you think they'll make 2021, or is that a pipe dream?
You know, I think it's a pipe dream. I'll tell you. First off, I love Apple products. I have an Apple Watch. I use Apple devices. I'm a huge Apple fan. The Apple Car thing, selling the technology is great. Apple CarPlay is absolutely fabulous. But I will tell you this. It's sort of like saying, tomorrow, I'm going to have a dream about making $1 billion. So we'll move that to 2025. I mean, it sounds like a great idea. I think there's a lot of myth in there, and reality will happen in the end is they'll either sell the technology or someone will buy out the technology. So let's see what happens.
You had that dream too? Wow. I mean,
yeah.
It's going around. I'm
a billionaire. There's a lot of cars I'm buying.
I just had this one last night. I thought about buying the island, putting up the Thunderbirds and all that, and having, a couple of Hot Wheels cars around and all that.
For you it'll be a bunch of Mopars. Let's be honest.
Yes, good for you. Remember, check out LaurenFix.com, even though she likes Mustangs. For everything automotive, the manufacturers do not want you to know. She will have the truth. Lauren Fix, always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks so much for joining us. We're out of here. Have a great weekend, everybody. Please be safe. Rock on, true believers. Good night and good luck.